I'm Joel Foster. Welcome to the advanced martial art of Kenjute. Aside from our standard self-defense curriculum, we also offer students specialized self-defenses for various scenarios. This video examines some ideas of quick escapes while on the ground. The specialized self-defenses in first degree brown belt take a look at what to do from the ground to get off the ground. Remember, the ground should never ever be your number one choice in terms of self-defense, but in reality, a lot of times altercations end up where you are on the ground. Previously in the earlier belts, we taught you how to do ground manipulation skills where you would escape the situation and lock the person up. And by locking them up, I mean putting them in a hold for submission. In real fighting on the street, when it's not a mid-level threat but a serious threat, and you are on the ground, you do not want to stay there. It's a dangerous place to be. Not so much because of the guy you're fighting, but because of his friends that are busy hitting you or bottling you while you're trying to deal with the situation. So remember this, the ground is not your first choice to defend yourself, especially as you get older. An old guy like me in his 60s, the ground is not very friendly. However, realistically, we might end up there, so we have to deal with it. The trick is deal with the situation, just like the manipulation, but then exit without putting on that final finishing lock. So in the first one of the ground techniques, it's the counter to the diving leg tackle. So Mr. Williamson is here. Remember, he's coming towards me. What I'm going to do, remember, is ride him to the ground by shooting my legs back, because most people are going to try and scoop your legs with a standard takedown. So he comes to get my legs. From here, I ride him to the ground on that 45-degree angle. Since I'm in this position here, I'm not going to worry about locking his arm anymore. Now what I'm going to do is elbow him in the head, load it, and palm his head into the concrete. Use that as leverage to palm it into the back as I start to stand up. Drop my left foot back as I kick him in the head, and then cover out, survey if he has any friends. So that takedown is ride him to the ground, elbow, palm, palm, get up and kick. Moving along, the next ground self-defense. If you recall, when the person had a hold of you, you had a hold of them, they overpowered you, you were falling, you put your foot either in the V of their leg with a crescent, threw them over the top, held onto them, rolled over and stayed on top, or you put your shin in between the leg. The only difference in this technique is we're not going to deal with them on the ground. We want to get off the ground. All right, so from this position here, as we're struggling away and he's pushing me, all I do is sit from this position and take him that way over the top, let go, and get up and cover out. Now, if you want to be very nasty, come on back up. If you want to be very nasty in that technique, when you have a hold of him and you put your shin up between the legs, that's what I'd recommend more for the street. Shin between the legs, because then you can kick him in the groin. And when you throw, you don't hang on to him as he goes over. You actually throw and kick him up so he flies through the air to cover a lot of distance. Okay, now we're on the ground. It's where your hands are trapped, where you're doing that angel in the snow, remember, kicking with the hip, where you threw him off and we did the strikes, rolled up and took him across our torso to control him. We want to get off the ground, remember. So from this position here, I'm on the ground. Mr. Williamson is actually ahead of my legs. He's not between the legs. So I do the angel in the snow like before, kick that hip, get him off balance off to the side. Here, as you roll him, hammer the groin, palm the face immediately, log roll away from him and use that as your 4-point to 3-point leverage to get up and cover up. So the difference is, as soon as you hammer the groin as hard as you can, palm the face, log roll out. Continuing on the ground from here, if you recall in the manipulations, you were down, the person changed from grabbing your hands, that they're now choking you. Both knees are bent, secure. You're going to hyperextend that elbow in this position, kick with the hip and roll him off. Now as opposed to chasing it to control him, once I get him off in this position, all I do is spin in a ground guard position this way, side kick him in the back with my left leg, and then front cross cover out with escape from the ground guard. Now you are on the ground and you're in the headlock, just like before. Remember, the person has you in the headlock on the ground, secure the hand so he doesn't punch you. You're going to hook the nose just like before, take it back and spin him away. Now as you do that, remember you're kicking your legs back out of the way as you roll him over in that nice wide position here. The difference is I'm not just going to set a choke. What I'm going to do now is as I crank this arm as hard as I can to get a dislocate in the shoulder, I take my right knee and drive it into his head here. From that position here, once I do this, I immediately do palms into the head and bodies. I drop back and kick to cover out. So the difference is when you roll the person over and lock them, pull that arm as you launch the knee, palm, palm, drop, and cover. Now which palm you hit with first really depends on your angle and the position you're in. If you find when you've done this and it's gone so well that it's already disengaged, it's fine to palm with the right first, then the left to get up. If you still have a hold of him and you need to disengage to get this arm available as you knee and pull, do the left hand first. Both will work just fine. We're in the ground armbar situation. From here, he's got me in this armbar just like before. Secure the leg, bite just like before. Do the downward looping roundhouse, log roll to push the person away. Now remember, in the manipulation, you're trapping the knee at this point. Skip all of that. Once he gets log rolled away, simply roll, drive your elbow down onto the spine, follow with a palm one, palm two, as you use that as leverage to get up and cover out. Don't worry about the kick. This is just simply elbow, palm, palm. So you're on the ground in the ground guard position. Remember, this move really isn't any different than the manipulation. The idea is if he's circling you, you're doing that pivot, you're blocking with a crescent against that incoming attack, doing a side kick to the support leg, front crossover, and from there, cover out. We're on the ground, face down. Bad position to be in. Remember, this is get off the ground as quick as you can. Don't stay there to control the situation. So I'm in this position here. The person is on top. They put me in an L choke. For stabilization, I want to spread my legs apart, bring my elbows in. So I've got almost like a triangle going on. Left hand will grab the wrist. Right hand grabs that elbow. You kick up and throw him, but don't go with him. Point his elbow up to the ceiling in this position. Now, in the manipulation, you went and crossed the body, put him in a lock. From here, all we're going to do is right palm into the face. The right palm will replace your left grab as you palm into that elbow joint. Now, when you pull his hand here and palm that elbow, it really hurts this arm on him. Trap it down low, hammer his face, log roll out, get up, and front cross cover out. Final ground, get off the ground as quick as you can. Remember, you're on the ground in this position. From here, perhaps you're tying your shoe, whatever it is. In the manipulation, we took the guy down and controlled him. Now we're just going to get rid of him. So he's coming to kick me in the face. You immediately shoot an X block to stop yourself from being kicked in the face. And before, we would hook, step through, take, lock. Now all we're going to do from this position here is hook underneath, stand, and throw. And then cover out. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you would like to learn more about what we do, please visit our website at www.kenjuteinternational.com, where you too can get involved with Kenjute's online learning program from anywhere in the world. Thanks for watching.